Feels like spring never ended. When autumn's in the air, I'm another year older. Nothing to show for it. Now I'm standing in the rain, trying to hold back all the words I never got the chance to say. Promise me that you'll always be the same.
Today is a very lucky day. Everybody's happy. One more round.
I still miss you, baby, after all this time. But if I wait here, will you be there times two? I still miss you. I've been looking for a place that I'd rather be. I've been searching for my own destiny. I raise my gun to the sky and scream out loud. This is my life, this is my hope, this is what I stand for. Now is the time to let it all. We are the young ones that fight for survival. We will watch it like a night of a fighter. We are the young ones that fight for survival. We will watch it like a night of a fighter. We will watch it like a night of a fighter. I've been looking for a place that I'd rather be. I've been searching for my own destiny. I raise my gun to the sky and scream out loud. This is my life, this is my hope, this is what I stand for. Now is the time to let it all. darkest night is always seen. Wait on the nothing, we're face to face. I've heard about you, you know about me. Already enough not to lose the game. The darkest night is always seen. Wait on the nothing, we're face to face. I've heard about you, you know about me. Already enough not to lose the game. No, not to lose the game. No, not to lose the game. Not to lose the game. Not to lose the game. Lose the game. Lose the game. Lose the game. Not to lose the game. The darkest night is always seen. Wait on the nothing, we're face to face. I've heard about you, you know about me. Already enough not to lose the game. The sweetest touch I've ever felt, the sweetest things I got with your kiss. Let's stay forever in this embrace, mixing the sunrise with the ocean breeze. Not to lose the game. 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 Lose the game. Lose the game. Lose the game. Not to lose the game. Lose the game. Lose the game. Lose the game. Not to lose the game.
If she come over, she fucking Billy the Goat. And a discussion, run up the guap. I'm chasing these hundreds, my music different. Everyone loves it. I can never fall off into popping. 100 a month, all in my pocket. Bitch, my career took off just like some rockets. You still begging your boss for that profit. God damn, they ask me how I do this shit. Came up real quick, I'm so smooth with it. Spent 80 on the watch and the necklace. I'm really popping, you can tell by how I'm spending it. I got bands, I got racks, I got cash. You a scrub, you a dork, I surpassed. I blew up, I got rich really fast. That must make all you hoes really mad. Goddamn, bitch, I'm winning. I stay healthy, get that spinach. I stay clean like a dentist. Fucked up bitch out in Memphis. You still driving in that Civic. You can date her, I'll just hit it. I was born for the digits. Bitch, I see it, then I get it. Hey, hi, my name is Billy. I'm a real nice guy, don't get it twisted. But if you fuck with me, we gon' have some issues. Haters mad that I made it, here's a tissue. God damn, they ask me how I do this shit. Came up real quick, I'm so smooth with it. Spent 80 on the watch and the necklace. I'm really popping, you can tell by how I'm spending it. God damn, they ask me how I do this shit. Came up real quick, I'm so smooth with it. Spent 80 on the watch and the necklace. I'm really popping, you can tell by how I'm spending it.
my car and my home. I'm leaving for a destination I still don't know. Somewhere nobody must have duties at all. And if you like this, you can follow me. So let's go. Follow me. And let's go to the place where we belong and leave our troubles at home. Come with me. We can go to a paradise of love and joy, a destination unknown.
to come clean. Let go all the things that you bring, 'cause they bind memories that will keep you from traveling free. Lay it all down, lay it all down when you go alone.
Chime. Why are you here?
I talked to Crow and Yasha. We thought that you should come to the observation deck. You need protection, and I'm the only realistic choice for the task.
Get somebody to clean this place up right away. And get me a doctor.
Are you on drugs?
I still have some embryo blood reserves. But if I undergo serum therapy, I could possibly live for a couple, maybe even a dozen more years. Perhaps even long enough to see you walk down the aisle. I know that you will never forgive me for what happened at Black Swan Bay. But please, you mustn't hold it against Chise. It was me who gave the order to abandon you inside the trench. And it was also me who trained those death servitors. Chise is only a child who couldn't say no to me.
Dad.
Death servitors. They are all death servitors.
Get back in! Keep it together. Crow and Yasha will think of something. Sakura! Listen to me.
I'm listening.
When the elevator door opens, I'll deal with the death servitor. You get Mr. Tachibana into the elevator. I'll be okay.
This is not my duty.
You know that weapons maintenance girl? She's always hungry. If you give her something to eat, she'll do anything for you.
Hey. Do you want to come work for me?
You give me food, and I work for you.
So, it's decided then. You'll come and work for me. What can you do?
It's a deal then. I only know how to kill.
No, I can do the killing myself, but I do need a pretty underling. Would you like to fill that position?
But I don't know what kind of pretty girls you like.
I don't know. But it can't hurt to try.
Deal. You give me food, and I'll be your pretty girl.
Be a good girl and listen to me. Extra skill! Sovereignty! Close the door! Close the door!
I don't know if she's gonna sacrifice herself. What's she doing? Where's the voice acting? Did not voice act that part.
Can Mercury and a thermite firebomb really do that?
Why are you asking me this?
From past history, it would appear that the killing blow against a Dragon Lord can only originate from something beyond the scope of science.
You're pretty smart.
Yet you still accept this plan.
We have more weapons at our disposal. If the Musashi Chief fails, it's not him who should jump into the Red Well. It's me.
I've already guessed the answer. There's no other way, right?
Yeah. Definitely spoilers. Hence the title. If you don't want spoilers, now is a perfectly fine time to jump ship. I won't blame you. We'll be done in about half an hour, I think. It's usually how long the story modes last. Now, it's impressive though. I mean, a full half an hour to an hour worth of content. It's great. It's almost like a Netflix series. So I understand if you want to avoid spoilers for sure.
If I fail as well, then we will have to throw Eri into that well. She is our last resort.
Oh, not Eri.
If I've guessed right, Eriojo-san is a devil, isn't she?
Yes, she is the most powerful devil there is. The clan needs her power. She's been raised as a weapon, one to be sacrificed.
No wonder then that Masamune-san and you care so much about Eriojo-san.
We care about her, but it's the kind of care that a samurai shows to his sword.
Oh, nice.
Right. If you want to enjoy the rain, I can get you an umbrella.
Look at that butt. That's a very nice butt. It's a fine butt.
Now that you've heard the truth, aren't you going to say anything? Like that I'm cruel and contemptible?
I don't feel that way. We are both expendable weapons. We become useless to whoever wields us the moment we break. We are both killing tools. I know how you feel. I'll get the umbrella.
If the situation gets resolved, I want to go to France. Would you like to join me?
With great honor.
Hideki! Senpai! You need to hurry! Sakura's fighting all alone up there! She'll die!
No, for once I feel you, Luminous. I'm all about that. I don't want Sakura to die. Yeah, for once, your your pissing your pants attitude is somewhat warranted.
We're surrounded by death servitors. It's not looking good. We're out of options.
Okay, let's little muscles. There you go. That's what you're there for. Take out the death servitors. There's too many of them. He's out of bullets.
Thank you.
Oh my god. No! Sakura! Oh no! No!
Young Chief, I'm sorry. I can no longer serve at your side. Please understand.
No! Oh, the feels. The feels, Sakura. No!
Chise, you have to get a hold of yourself. We're all your retainers. We are all expendable and replaceable. But you are not.
No. No.
I feel you, Chise. That was a
I'll
tough
go get the
loss.
Hummer. We must leave separately. Bring Chise with you. Get out of here at all costs.
Did you know that Sakura was left stranded in Afghanistan as a child? She
I
only
didn't know that.
survived by killing people for the militia.
Oh wow. That's crazy. I mean, the alliteration there to Japanese exile in Afghanistan is kind of a cool, not alliteration, literal example is really
Eventually,
a cool play on
she
world,
came to
recent
work
world
in the
politics.
clan's armory. She
Oh my
was
god,
dressed
my
in-
feels.
I asked her if she was willing to be my pretty underling. She told me that she would, as long as I gave her food.
Oh, he's mourning. It's not the time to mourn though. We gotta get rid of. Well, I guess my job is to get rid of the death servitors while he mourns. Cause I'm here
From
to
that
help
day
him
on,
out.
she
And honestly,
became
he deserves our
Sakura.
help. The guy
She
deserves
was
some
good
time
at
to mourn the loss of
my clumsy
Sakura.
little swallow has finally left the nest and flown away. Her
That
flight
silly
is
swallow
as
flew away after all,
beautiful
bold and
as
flamboyant
a
like a brilliant
blossoming
Sakura.
Sakura.
Huh. Oh, I wonder if Sakura, what does Sakura mean in Japanese? Google Translate. Sakura. No. Is that actually a thing? What does Sakura? Oh, it's a flowering cherry. It's a cherry tree. She's named after a cherry tree. How fitting. And its leaves are beautiful, but they fall in the winter, in the fall. And then she became Sakura. She knew the art of impersonation and disguise. Her eyes were blue as the ocean. She spent her entire life on me. I was all that she had. Well, dang, those are some poignant words. Yeah, Kat. I don't know much about Japanese. Probably I can know more Chinese culture than I do Japanese. Very cool, very fitting. I liked it. Yeah, hey Arrow, it's good to see you. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. Oof, I was worried there for a second. I thought I might have had the corona or something. I definitely I was questioning at first whether or not I had a fever. And I was like, what's going on? And like after 3 days of just like getting chills. Like, I was sleeping like 14 hours. I'm still sleeping a lot, like 10 hours, 11 hours, but I think that's because I just became accustomed to it. Sleeping a lot, but I no longer got the chills, so. Ah, brother gunslingers. Oh wow, he's mad. They took away his Sakura. What? Who was that? Oh my god, it was the father dude. He really did mean it, that he was expendable.
Chisei. Is
Flashback.
Eri doing alright?
Stabilized now. She did have something after she woke up, so she's off the drip. A package came for her this afternoon. It had some of her old toys and some clothes. She looked very happy.
All that matters is that she's happy, and that she is able to return safe and sound. By the way, the katana I had for you was ready, so I sent it. It's now on its way to you.
Congrats on the car unlock, Kat. Oh my god. Yo, he just freaking straight up, not even no hesitation, sacrificed himself. Not only by running the car in, but then shooting and blowing up the car next to him. So that he blew apart more of the death servitors.
Dead!
So this guy just lost his, like, pretty girl underling and his dad all in the last 2 minutes. I mean, you guys are killing it on the car game. I'm trying to, I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to get that car, because you got to get it from a Blood Cry key, so you got to get a bunch of those. And I'm not about that RNG, so I just got the basic race car. Ow, Jesus. All right. Oh my god, any good text here? Master. So Crow and Yashu are here to help us take care of Chessie Gen, who just had both his father and his favorite assassin girl sacrifice themselves so he could escape the death servitors.
Dad! Young Chief, go back! No.
Let's wait a bit longer.
I hear you, Chessie. You gotta have some time to mourn.
Help me.
Oh yeah, I got the basic card, 2 arrows. It's nice. It does the, you get the stunt when you get the upgrade for the flight. You get the stunt, the NOS boost for free. So I think that was nice of the devs to have that as part of the giveaway. And the car is part of the natural pay-to-win progression, or the natural FTP progression. So that's nice that it's unlockable. Even the cat card is eventually unlockable FTP. That said, I made a $60 purchase based on subs and on
Damn it,
the game, and that's the most.
Johan Chu, you help me rescue Ruri Kazama. Luminous, you two head back to Takamagahara.
But that's the cost of Real Tail game. Oh, while I was sick, I was like, I really want to do something. I feel sick. So, I figured, hey, the game's definitely worth $60 worth of content, I'll tell you that. That's my opinion. It is a full-fledged game, like $60 games I've paid for in the past. Oh yeah, PWM. PWM is going downhill. I mean, they're really trying, but it's not looking good. I mean, so many people left for Dragon Roger or other games. I'm sure they'll stabilize out, but right now they're on a drastic decline in income. So, and plus, I mean, you've got the world pandemic thing going on. So, 15k diamonds, dang. I actually do have some. Well, Kat, if you want my advice, I mean, the short is always motors, because you can never really go wrong with motors. That said, there might be more clutch ways of doing it, but with the motors, they don't. Unlike allies or unlike pets, there's no risk of accidentally, putting too much in one pet and then a new pet comes out and then you lose a bunch of that rating, especially for pets. Pets, there's a drop from 30% to 6% CVR. I suppose it's characteristic value ratio or something. So you lose freaking 30 minus 6, 24%. Not even 24%, it's whatever the percentage is of 6 over 30. So you can not, 24 over 30. So whatever 24 over 30 is multiplied by 3, roughly 60, 70. You lose almost 80% when you switch out the pets. So I guess the easiest thing I can say is don't spend it on pets. You can spend it on the dragon because the dragon's going to be around for a bit, but definitely not on the other pet. Those are the biggest things I have for that. Yeah, saving for the new character. I know you've been really harping on that. You know what? And that's the thing. Like we can talk day and night about like what the numbers and what the rating value ratio is on gems per rating, and long-term gems per rating. But if you like a certain design or a certain pet or a certain whatever, screw the rating. Screw the rating per gem. Go with what you like. Because this game isn't that bad about allowing, like for example in some games if you spend on beauty you almost get no rating out of it, and in this game it does give you some good rating. Same thing for rare outfits and stuff, like you get a less of a return, but still like you get something. It's not like you're in the in the garbage bin, which I think is really smart because some people really want that one item and then they feel that regret that they didn't get something that gave anything to their rating. So definitely, you're at 135. Oh, okay, 105k. Nice. Congrats, man. Yeah, and at 105k now, you're starting to feel like you got a nice bit of advantage for sure, depending on what server you're in. So that's great. You can definitely start leveraging that, right? You can start forcing trades, which means that in combat abilities, you can start trying to create situations where people are forced to engage with you, which gives you a whole additional level. I'll talk about that in a demo video. It's about that time too, where I'm confident enough to start releasing guides along with you guys, giving your advice. And so that's a good thing for sure. I mean, honestly, the arrows for. I think you're back a little ways in servers, so. You're gonna get that. I think Kat and I are both in the higher end servers. I think, if I recall correctly. But it's all server related. Like there's some people here in like server 20 that haven't even gotten to like level 75 yet. Alright, let's go subway back. I wish we could actually take the subway in this game. I think that would be a cool addition. I would really like the transition scenes to be an animated kind of waiting out in the subway. And that would be a way too to even load in bigger areas. So, but that would probably require a whole new game redesign. But the concept is still really cool. Oh, oops. I wonder if I can actually do this in-game, like outside of the story mode, do that teleport using the subway. One more. Suppose they're having drinks. Get Chessie over here. Should join us for some drinks. Morning bit. Yeah, maybe one day, Kat.
It saddens me deeply that the era of true gentlemen, true ladies is long gone. Today, the relationship between a man and a woman is but a fast-paced affair.
I feel that. It says the single bachelor in his gaming studio.
Mobile devices. Their relationship is sustained through the use of mobile devices. But surely you can't transmit human warmth through something like that?
So poignant. God, the story mode is just perfect. I mean, they're just so good.
Just thinking about it breaks my heart. I think it is high time I poured myself a drink. I am lucky, however, that you are here keeping me company on such a dreadful night.
Yes.
It's the same with me. A toast in honor of Mr. Whale.
A toast to Heracles.
Heracles? Why are we toasting to Heracles? It's always weird to me when anime tries to throw, like, I don't know, Greek references in an attempt to sound sophisticated. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You thought I was dead. Oh, it's a toast to me. As reference, apparently I was referred to as Heracles, maybe? Should be fitting. Given our own story. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the story mode definitely is, the feels.
Real men wear their scars like medals.
Sing-songy voice. You know, I never suspected it, but it does work. For Finger, the sing-song voice. Hey, they're back. We lost a lot of people, though. It's like Game of Thrones, like Jessie Jen and you know, and Sakura both out. No, not Jessie again, but the father, Mishimoto, and Sakura both out, pretty main characters.
How is he? Still alive?
He's still breathing.
The Sakura, the father thing got me, but it didn't cut me as emotional, I think, as Sakura. Just like, oof, man. I think that one cut me deep. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn, thank God you're back. I was this close to losing it.
You're alive?
Oh, baby Luminous.
Welcome back.
What happened?
The King's Blade isn't dead. It seems his mind's controlled by the woodblock sound. Luminous was affected, but managed to free himself. He can't.
Let's get him into the room.
I'm gonna try not to use auto nav. Alright, we're in the room. Finger summons me. Alright, Finger.
You have the right to remain silent.
What? Oh, that's right. We thought Cheme-gen was not that good because he maybe was gonna use Eri or something for something bad. Yeah. I missed the death of Vera at the beginning because I was just going through the story mode to level up. But yeah.
I know what you're going to ask. I'll tell you everything. But please don't rush me. Please, allow me time to think. That way I can explain it better.
Oh wait, Cheme-gen, not Chesei. This guy's different? Oh, I'm lost. This guy is different. Yeah, Cheme is standing right there, so he's still there. This guy is the guy who knew this was coming and gave the heads up about it. And he got affected by the scream thing that, the woodblock sound thing, the death clock face guy was making. The music's really nice too. You know, trying to get a good angle on it before I pressed go. It's a very good position. Narrow couch, but I got a really big character, so makes everything look tiny. Okay. Oh, I gotta quit the interaction there.
This is my real face. Up until now, you've only seen me in makeup. Now you'll see. I'm not as handsome as my brother. When I was little, I kept wishing I could be like my brother, who was so perfect and stuck with someone so plain as me. But my brother's true strength lay in his heart. Once he decided to act on Justice's behalf, he would keep that commitment for life. Later, Tachibana took my brother away as an heir to the Gen clan. As for me, I met the King's Blade. He taught me kabuki and fed me hard liquor with the evolution pill mixed in. The rest is in a haze.
Okay, so he became a bad guy because he was adopted by the King's Blade. And gotcha. Okay, that's what went on. He turned into the monster. The monster dude who killed all those female high school students.
I killed 14 girls within a single night. I transformed their bodies into wax statues and dressed them in kabuki costumes. But I was only dreaming. When I woke up, my brother had pierced through my heart. He tossed my corpse down into the well and sealed it forever.
Alright, he sounds a little cuckoo. You turn your character into a lolly. Yeah, the lollies are lollies.
He will come back for me. King's Blade. He will come back. No one is able to kill him.
Okay.
If you can't kill the King's Blade, why do you think your brother can?
My brother has a last ace in the hole. He has Eri Uesugi at his disposal. No, even though she's beyond damaged in some areas, she can rival the Dragon Lord.
This country is just full of monsters, isn't it? Take a long break. You deserve it. Do you want us to bring you back some breakfast?
Now that you've heard all this,
I agree.
Do you still think of me as a friend?
Until you turn into a devil, we may not be friends, but we are still allies. Should the King's Blade manage to track you down, we will protect you.
Promising to protect somebody so recklessly is a foolish thing. Nevertheless, thank you.
Alright, we're gonna leave Chesse Gen over here to Chemagen over here to chill. Oh, that's Jonathan Chu, not Chesse. Gotcha. Okay. Done that. I left the VIP room. I need to go further. Hello? Oh, I guess we do need to go further. Grab a drink with these guys. No? Oh, I guess we need to go out
Give
here.
me 2 more shots.
Oh my god. There we go.
I can't take anymore.
The henchman doing shots. We gotta learn from the henchman about Chesse again, I think. That's the plan. Hello? I'm trying.
You know I like I fell in love with her the moment I saw her. She's such an adorable wildflower.
It's acting.
But you know us gangsters would never tell anyone that we fallen in love with a girl. That we start mocking us. No, don't worry. We're brothers. I will never mock you.
Alright, so they really like Eri. Maybe we can convince them to help. Not Eri, Sakura. They're really sad about Sakura. I feel that. I won't make fun of you guys. That's a good reason to be sad.
Sakura has a crush on the boss. Actually, I feel quite happy for him. The boss is a good guy, even though he's a bit of a sissy. Having been a gangster, a gambler, a schemer, and a well-dressed animal my whole life, I've fallen in love with a number of girls. Anyway, Sakura could never like me. Don't worry. Pick any girl and I will send you away. Even if I have to abduct her. We're the young chief's retainer. It wouldn't be bad if things stayed like this. Hey! You okay? Damn you, Chiseigen. A good girl likes you. Why on earth do you act so completely indifferent?
I don't think he gets it. I think Chiseigen is pretty emotionally distraught. He just lost his father and the girl, but he's got to stay strong for, because he's the head of the family clan. He doesn't really get the chance to take the break and drink with his buddies. I feel that, Crow. I feel that. Well, that was it. That was a short chapter. But, I don't know, a lot of heavy content. The loss of Sakura. And Mr. Moto. Let's see, what's his name? I think I got him in here too. Yeah, there's Crow, there's Yasha. There's Sakura, she's done. Sad day. I guess I don't have Mr. Moto unlocked yet. Get him unlocked eventually. Dang. We got a contest coming up this evening, so that'll be fun. There we go. Oh, the music's so nice. Alright, so I just gotta open the shop. We still got some time to kill before the, Yeah, I would say even after playing other games and checking out their story, this one definitely, I think, has... I'm starting to get a basis of comparison as we check out new games. And this one definitely is up there for sure. Alright, well let's go open the shop, I think. I need to prepare the food first, I think. I'm pretty sure we still can't do pictures yet. Not opening hours. Yeah, it's not opening hours. So I'm pretty sure this is still broken for iPhone, but we'll test it out together. Alright, so we need it just like that. You need to get that skirt in the picture. Easy enough. I'm pretty sure this is still glitched out. Yeah, try one more time. Yeah, that didn't work. So, go back, and we'll cook some food. Oh, 1,000,000 on Darkness Rises. Okay, so you're just getting up there. I'm wondering how long it takes. When you get to the later levels, the gold was actually becomes a hamstring. It really flips. Kind of goof the progression on that. I have no idea how high it takes to get up to Darkness Rises, but once you get up to the top, it is very, once you get to, 10, 15 million, I mean, you can easily take on players that are, 30 million if you're, become adept at the game. It's very unique in that way, in that regard. A 15 mil player can be just as valuable as a 30 million player. In other words, a completely free to play can be just as valuable as the biggest whale in the game, which is very different. I mean, Drunk on my server 2 is, 300 million. Now is Blade Master. I mean, he's got super armor on by default almost all the time, so it's like, no matter what you do, you can't beat him. Whereas in Darkness Rises, you do, if he moves too close to a bridge or something, you can ring him out and insta-kill. They did try to damper that with the new skill that gives you like some resistance, essentially super armor to those kinds of stuff. I really didn't like that. I think a lot of players didn't like it. But by that point, most of like the super technical players had left. Not most, but some. So, I don't know. I think it was an attempt to make Darkness Rises more like current games and remove that ability. That said, insta-kill is still a thing, but you get a much smaller window to do it because of that feature that allows essentially super armor. I think it's called super armor actually. You do have to evade to get it. Evasion's pretty easy, so there's a bit of skill in order to proc super armor. Or is it Blade Master? There's no skill necessary. Super armor. Skip your text. I didn't mean to skip your text. Yeah, you know, war is something planned by old men and fought by young. So, you know, funny thing, scars are worn by young men. Alright, our store is open. Oh, Calm is here. Hey, Calm. We have plenty of bentos, so we'll go ahead and advertise. Just open. My shop. Returning visits with purchases with bentos. We're gonna request friends for everybody who comes and visits in hopes that they will make a purchase. Someone added me. Oh, it's gone. Flare emoji to entertain the customers. Rox has already added us. She'll be able to purchase. I don't know much Japanese. I'm still learning. From Chinese, I only know like 20 characters. But I'd like to learn some Japanese too. Maybe up the same amount that I know Chinese. Let's go ahead and make sure Sliff has been... Okay, Sliff is added. And Rue is not yet added. Send a request. Return the favor here. Check our stock, I think, here. One more of each. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll go return the favor here. Is the correct thing to do.
I have lived for over 100 years, and while I'm not dead yet, the banner of the Dragon Slayers can't rest on my shoulders forever. It will eventually have to be passed down in the hands of the younger generations.
Ooh, a burger. I want a burger. Look at all these fancy foods. Spring rolls, Kung Pao chicken. French burger. Oh, spring roll is a French burger. I'm gonna eat the French burger. Cumin potatoes. I need you. Get out of your cumin potatoes. Just to get the gold for it. Should check to see if they have pictures. You can use those pictures. Do that next time. And as promised, since they purchased, or said they purchased, we're going to give them a gift. And then go back to our shop. Thanky's here. Sure, Thanky is a friend. We're gonna do a little bit of RP. Yeah, everybody's, you know, not everybody's an RPer. I'm not an RPer, but you know, I think a little bit of greeting is, a little bit of RP is kind of fun. I mean, that if you look at the shop, it's basically meant to kind of roleplay. It's got that nice design. So, just find Denki. Give Denki a thank you. We really want to thank everybody, get a good reputation for returning the favor for people who stop by our shop. We actually got Denki over in the fan group here. Trying to remember who else might have stopped by. Yeah, we already did turn that. Calm was here. Gift him a bento. I think we still got some more room here. Oh, Roxa definitely came by. We'll give her a bento. Then get back to restocking our shelves. You gotta make some food. Yeah, this does remind you to make some food, doesn't it? It's a good thing. Stay healthy. Oh, happy to receive visitors, Cat. Always. I should go around visiting other stores for a brief second before I re-advertise. That way, you know, take a little bit of initiative on our own. Amethyst potion, dang. Alright, let's go. That is a
Hesitation will only afford our enemy.
The world is a gentle place. Aerie has always been here.
Hesitation will only afford our enemy more time to prepare.
I'm very happy about that. Give a happy sign there. Her store looks busy, so we're gonna head out there. I think I've got all the goodies I can get here, but always good to get all those red packets. And you know what? And I like throwing out the TYs because really it's the, pay to win supports the game. Every time somebody pays to win, or, gives out those packets or pays to get whatever, one less thing you have to do, assuming that the people on the other side, the devs and the man, it's not really the devs, it's more so the business leaders themselves, as long as they're moral and just and correct. If you trust them, which we do, given we paid retail price essentially for this game. Well, I got a restock, it looks like. Just sold some stuff, 2 things. Let's do a restock here. See if we have any visitors. Jenny is here. I'm gonna give her, she's a friend. I'm gonna assume she's either gonna buy something or we're just gonna thank her. Oh, she's gone now. Let's see if we can find her in our list. We wanna make sure to track down and thank people. It's that extra effort, right? As a shopkeeper. Tracking down and thanking people for visiting. A little extra personal touch, so to speak. Oh, she's gone already. I already got you. ID required, must be 21 or older to enter. I don't know about that, but I will visit your store there, buddy. Now, granted, there are different ways of choosing whose store to visit, right? Because you can visit a lot of stores. Some people encourage more guildy-oriented stuff. Visiting your guildies first. Oh, I should cut down on the number of Nightbot messages even further. I cut it down a bit. I got them more scattered out. But I could put them all at like 55 minutes. But it's still like once every hour, no matter how I set it, as long as it's beyond 30 minutes, which is kind of annoying. I wish I could set it even further. I think actually that's what I'm gonna do, sort of. So I'm gonna have more of them doubled up, but I'm not gonna have any below 30 minutes. And what that will do is that will really cut down. So info is at 30 minutes, which may mean that it goes twice an hour. So we're gonna move that info from 30 minutes to 35. Oh God, what's going on? Very low. Yeah, I already authorized you. You dirtboard. All right. From 30 to 35. You don't want any under we move you to 35 as well. under 30 minutes. Apologies for the maintenance, guys. I'll get better at doing this off stream. But a little bit of housekeeping when you're working is the key to a clean job, yeah. So at 35, we get info. And the welcome message. At 40, we get the invite code. At 45, we get follow and subscribe. And at 50, we get the Discord. I feel like I should double some of that up. So instead of at 35, instead of at 40, we want to move everything back to 45, so there's a 10-minute break. Submit. 45, anything at 40. Cool. And then everything we had at 50, we want to move back to 55. I think that'll do just fine. I think it's kind of spread out. Now I only want 2 messages per 35, 35. So there's 3 at 35, 3 there. The info. That's good enough for now. Fidget more with it later. Shop on that. Alright. No pictures, but over here. Ooh, they got the fancy items. Some crazy hot pot. Heck yeah. Stabilizer shard. Don't really need those. Not too many of them. This guy's dancing away. Love it. Very entertaining. Alright. Check your messages, make sure we didn't miss out on anybody. Turn emoji for emoji. Back to our store. Doc Holiday is visiting. We're gonna make sure he's a friend. Send him a request. Oh wow, he's been leveling up. Doc Holiday is one of our interns. And give him a greeting. Bit of that RP never hurt anybody, right? Oh, he disappeared. Rest in peace. Check our stock here. We are short the soup. I think I'm out of free coupons. Tell though how many coupons that people can use on me. It says free 0 times, so I think we should stop advertising at this point because people can't use the coupons. I think you can use shop funds to buy, or not funds, but like in-game funds, like that. There's no more free ones. Let's test by going to somebody else's and see how that works. For a shop advertisement here. Ooh, photo. I would like photo because I've been getting the non-photos. exit up. No more ticket left. Oh Jesus, hush, Alexa. Nothing went wrong. How do I donate? Oh, okay, hey, Alexa. Stop. We gotta return our moments stuff. Make sure we're being fair there. Too many friends. This is really, what's really hurting is this forces me to really be very proactive on removing anybody who like misses a day or two, because I need active people to go buy things from. I need them to be friends. So I remove anybody, I have to remove anybody, and I removed the 83s, and so now I'm on the 84s, I think. Which sucks because 84s, like 84s are still really active. And, you know, and I could go through, it's just so hard to think about each person. Individually. I guess I go for the offlines first. I mean, look at this. Even my offlines are extremely full. I mean, I'm having to go through and remove 83s, which honestly are active players. But I need to do that to make room so that I can sell and make my shop work correctly. Like Bunchy? How can I get rid of? I can't get rid of Bunchy. And this person was pretty cool, but I'm gonna get rid of them because I need more space. And Geno's a personal friend. I can't get rid of Geno. But I do really have to stick to this 83 rule. I can't start getting too personal about it. Like soon. I can't remove Geno though, just because of how long we've known each other. I don't want to either. I gotta refresh the mirror. Is there any damn who's dropped? I don't want to drop Kess, but I think I should. She's 79. She's playing the other game more often. If she picks up this game, I'll know anyway, because we'll talk through Territory Wars at the very least. I wish I could have more friends. I think that's right though. I mean, you should, if you're living life correctly, you're always going to want for more room for friends. So, that's good. think it's about as well as I can trim it for now. I really do like the background music. Hey kid, how you been, man? Good to see you. I'm really enjoying the new, the new thing. It does allow me to get a little bit into role playing, which isn't really my deal, but having there mixing the drinks, it's fun. Miss Chips. That's pretty easy. The only female out of the lineup is Anexi. It's time 0. It's Anju. I know that one. Anju. King's Blade. Dang, I'm on a roll here. Plays games. That's Airy. Luminous. What? How did I get that one wrong? Oh no, it's Ming. God, don't let me. Don't you ever hit you click it and then you know as you've clicked it you want the other one. Oh man. Troll. Oh, Gwendolyn. Such a big baby. I wish I could do more with my shop today, but it's pretty much donezo time. Wait, this isn't my shop, is it? No, it's not. So I think I still have some food in my shop. And I don't want to cook anything more because you cook items, they get recycled, but not fully, so 3 waste items. People could come by and buy them, but it's not likely because I'm out of free coupons. I think there's a way that you can donate to get them using in-game coupons, but I'm not going to expect that. So for that reason, I'm going to stop advertising. If you guys know me and you've been with me from the beginning, very heavy about advertising when you initially open really hard. And then our goal, quite frankly, is to back off. It's just going to be us. I mean, even if it's just one person, we're just going to sit back, relax, and do that. I've actually turned off viewers. I have no idea how many viewers are on. I think Aristoke, he was actually on a little bit earlier. He was like, where you been, man? About time. And I was like, hey. Yeah, he's doing alright. I need to stop. I didn't want to ask him about his sister just because I don't like, pushing feels. I feel like, just the way my family operates. Like, if you got something that, is emotionally important, then you bring it up. Otherwise, you're pretty silent about it. That's the way me and my dad are. And my mom obviously always voices her concerns pretty well. Except sometimes she voices them about things that she's not actually concerned about. I don't know if your mothers... I feel like mothers in this regard are always the same. Like, they might be stressed or upset about something, but they won't tell you. They'll get upset about something else, like you're not eating this thing, or you're not, whatever. And it's like, deep down, the problem is actually something entirely different. And you have to, ask them 20 questions to figure out what they're actually stressed about. Women, am I right? I'm just kidding. Men can be that way, too. But yeah. What a beautiful shop we have here. I really want them... okay, that's good. Still having issues walking. Yeah, I dated a girl for a while who, she'd gotten in a car accident, when she was younger. So, she had to, rehab walking. The doctors told her she wouldn't, be able to walk again. And she was able to walk just fine. Honestly, aside from some scarring on her leg, totally normal. Yeah, but it's it was the rehab is huge. My sister's finishing up her last year as an occupational therapist. And so that would be, kind of stuff that she'd deal with. How can you, how to best, help rehabilitate people to be able to walk or type or whatever it is that's regarding to them producing the most for their career. Actually, it's a very personal subject for me because with my condition, you know, I literally, you know, I had to figure out how to get the right kind of medications and balance, you know, appropriate exercise to even, you know. So anyway, good stuff. Glad she's out. You know, definitely good that she's, you know, at the point where she's, you know, where she is. Because, you know, with the whole coronavirus thing, I mean, I was having chills, you know, about, you know, 2 days ago. Stopped about a, you know, a little bit more than a day ago, and then I laid off streaming for an additional day. But, you know, with the whole coronavirus stuff, suddenly, you know, things that would just be, oh, well, you know, just go to a doctor, suddenly are, do I really need to go to the doctor? Because if I go to the doctor, then I raise my risk of contracting, you know, COVID-19. So, good to hear she's doing better and that she's out for sure. That's if I'm understanding that correctly. Actually, one of my friends in game, I won't talk about it personally, but we've started to come kind of close talking in the game, and she's in the hospital. She's a nurse, and she can, you know, because of her job, she's contracted COVID-19, and, you know, has been recovering in the hospital from it. So, you know, I think it's the first person I've met that's contracted it, and I think Arrows, you're the first person I've known through second degree whose family member was in the hospital. For any reason, you know, a reason other than COVID, but still. And, you know, I heard from her, it was the worst, you know, it was worse than any flu she's had before. So, you know, I'm very glad your sister didn't contract that. She's got enough on her plate for sure. Let's see, we got some time. Let's check our career. Oh, yes, we can upgrade our shop. Woo! I'm excited because now we can make the fancy food. We gotta wait till it closes, so we'll do that later on tonight. I'm no longer sleeping. I'm still sleeping about 10 hours, but I'm able to do a full evening stream. Before I was getting chills at this point, I would have gone and laid back down. You guys knew I'd switch it to be right back. But I think I did have a cold or something. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it's crazy too how the nurses are always like the hardest. You know, it's like you're out there saving people's lives, and you're the hardest hit. It's huge, very, very challenging. So we made the full dividend for today, 25. Usually somewhere between 25, 26 diamonds per day from this, which is about on par for what we make from our other career, which is saying a lot. We probably make maybe 30 to 40 out of the cuisine career right now, which is our highest. And we could make a little bit more. We were making a bit more from the Superstar, but I kept cuisines open for the sole fact that I wanted to produce bentos. Because you can make far more bentos than you can gold cards. And everybody really wants the bentos for the for running challenge dungeons, you know, or even daily dungeons. You always want to have those bentos pop. There's a constant demand, which is why we kept the cuisines open, even though we had got our Superstar as well leveled up to the intermediary gold cards. And I've even got some saved up, and I'm gonna pop one actually, or make sure that I've got one popped for contest tonight, because I'm really big on those buffs before contests. And we've even got a citrus juice at the ready so that we can be fully buffed. Also, big note, if you're in a guild, ask your guild leader. They should receive CD keys. So for my guild, we have a set of CD keys. So if you're on server 2 and you haven't joined Lethal, join Lethal. I'll get you in. In fact, it's a good thing to know me. If you're into, we just merged with another guild, and we've now got probably the majority of server 3 PWMs, OGs. So we're gonna be probably Diamond 2, if not Diamond 3, on server 3, or on server 2, excuse me, in Dragon Raja. So if you wanted in on those servers to what's going to be a very powerful guild, let me know. But that'll get the reason I mentioned that is because those are the CD keys, and if you're looking at these diamonds and wondering why haven't I opened them, it's because you can only use them once a week. these diamonds, I guess, for some reason, but you get a bunch of them all at once. So if you've not used those CD keys, either ask your guild leader, or if you're on server 2, ask me about trying to get into lethal. I might not be able to get you in, but I also may be able to. I've been pushing my luck because I really like accepting people. But it's also that could end up blowing back in my face because we need room for this Statera merger. Hey, Mr. Confined, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. My good sir, we're getting ready for contests. We just wrapped up our day at the store. And it's a good dividend. You're wondering whether it's worth it. People say, oh, it's not worth it. And it's maybe not worth it for the learning curve. Because the other classes, it's very easy to catch on to what you need to do. Here, you have to be logged in during a specific time. You have to treat it like a timed daily. Now, speaking of time dailies, I need to get out of here and do my Undersea Massacre. I don't need to, but I want to get that done. Go ahead and join up for that. So you can see we got a new mount while we were away. This is part of our full game purchase. A little less than $60. Oh, cool. So confirm you're probably in a big guild then. I know some of our guilds this week are fighting cross server, so I'd be curious to see if maybe our servers were fighting each other. Oh, you're in Aces? Okay, cool, so you're in server 2 too. Yeah, Aces is a big one. I know that I've been seeing their recruiting. And I've actually really liked, you know, some guilds I haven't, you know, really gotten a good feel for them yet, because not everybody, I know the people, if you're from PWM, or oh my god, if you're from if you're from Darkness Rises, we all know each other, but there are definitely some people from different games and different backgrounds, and I'm still getting to know everybody. I've really actually, and I mean this really genuinely, I really like the people I've met from Aces. I feel like Memoir is just so kind of like, you know, super guild at this point, you know, caught up in themselves. It's hard to get to know the Memoir members. And we will eventually get to know each other. People in Memoir is just, if you're in a guild like that, like within the guild, there's so much to get to know, and it's so active and so busy that it's going to take a while for you to get to know people outside of it. So don't hold that as a negative. So my guild, Lethal, pops up on the Nightbot info message. You go ahead and okay, we'll just let it populate on its own. But my guild, the core of it now, it's grown a lot. It's grown a bit, so there's people from other places, which is that's what makes me happy, because I was about to leave. Honestly, if they had not accepted the merger with Statera, I said it on stream right before I got sick. You know, if they had not accepted the merger, because what happened is they were holding off, and I was, you know, accepting it. I was like, okay, cool, because they were trying to work out the details, and then Statera said, we'll merge into you. And I was like, you know, hey, you guys, you gotta accept this, because we're meant to be together, you know. Yeah, it's a good group of people. Okay, cool. Let's get this show on the road. What? Right here. Rally confirmed. Give me a second. I apologize, guys. I do want to keep talking, but it's important for me to, you know, do a good job. That's also, you know, important part of the stream. Like, I want to set a good example for good team leadership. So I will pause for a second and make sure I'm doing a good job. We'll give him one last rally, and if he doesn't show, then I'll drop him. Okay, cool. Looks like I started off. I always try to check to see if I got, you know, make sure I got the right build off the bat, and then make an initial guess on who's going to be the highest damage and bond to them. Or, ideally, bonding to another, if it's equal, I actually would choose another Soul Dancer, and the reason for that is the Soul Dancers have skills that increase CDR. So what that will do is not only it will amplify the amount of CDR reduction. In other words, by bonding to another Soul Dancer, because your primary stat is CDR reduction. But if you bond to another Soul Dancer, who is high enough rating as another Soul Dancer, you also help increase the CDR of your carries. So if it's even, or even if the other Soul Dancer is slightly below the damage of the other carry, if you soul bond to them, that increases the amount that they're doing skills that decrease the CDR of the carry. So in a sense, you're magnifying it. So passing that through another Soul Dancer is always a wise move. You just want to notice Drunk do for a living. Drunk. I know people. I've met people like Drunk. Probably not as well as some people. I'd say people like Cardi from PWM know those kinds of personalities closer than I do. I grew up kind of upper middle class, but not, kind of in the social strata of people like Drunk. But people like Drunk, I mean, essentially they're the kinds living, whose family lives in the Upper East Side of New York or something like that. Or they may not live there, but they'll certainly have they might have a residence there. They're never going to want for money. They're the children of billionaires or whatnot, or either public or maybe more private. Say some derivative of Saudi oil wealth, or Qatar has a lot of has spawned a lot of that. And other places they have money that just, quite frankly, it's not about their living. At Drunk money. So you might that question, what people do for a living, is interesting to me, to people who say are about 200,000 on server 2 and 1. At Drunk's level at 300,000 rating, I no longer matters what their living is, because at that level either you're dying and you're spending your last money, your mortgage, in which case it's really sad, but maybe not, something meant for a stream chat, or you're independently wealthy. Because they're going to be spending upwards of $100,000. That's kind of the entry level for these games. And given that Dragon Raj is a bit bigger, you'll probably spend a bit more. So PWM's top players, they spend about $100,000 to be at the top spot. And Drunk is probably already spent over 100 grand. That would be my guess. Maybe a little bit less because it's so early on. So maybe, I guess, 50 grand. But he's well set to maintain his slot, in which case he'll spend over 100 grand. And I'm going to guess, based on the relative size of this game versus PWM, the top players will spend definitely upwards of 100, probably maybe closer to 200,000. We'll see where that goes. Other games that could probably pair or apply BDM. Their top players have probably spent over 100 grand. Okay, so you did a merger, Arrows. Congrats on the merger with your guild. And those are big things too, because around this time is when guilds, even active guilds, can start breaking a little bit. So it's really pleasing to see. When people's guilds hold together or make the right merger calls. And sometimes they're bad mergers. I was in a guild where there was a bad merger in PWM. The people that we merged into wasn't an honest merger, in a sense. Not in a sense, just straight up. So everybody pretty much knows we don't do in-game promotions anymore. So you guys who are here, congrats, you made it in. We don't promo anymore in-game. Aside from really big events, let's say if the devs are trying to really push some competitive event, I'll jump in and try to promote it, both from a streaming perspective, but from a day-to-day, this is welcome, this is the core. Even if it's just one of us, or even if, honestly, sometimes even if it's just myself. Actually, if it's just myself, I'll probably stop streaming, but this is the core, and this is where it's at. Thank yous. We're gonna check time. Okay, we got about 20 minutes. Let's see, what do I want to do? Check the good times. I'm really loving, and it's one thing too, I should probably say this, you know, if you're sitting here listening to this club talk and feeling sad, seriously, like, if, you know, you're like me, I hate leaving guilds. And that's why I was being a little pushy about, you know, about making that merger. Oh. But, let's see, visit her store. She's saying she's looking for a store. Oh, I do have a coupon. We got the French burger last time. Somebody get the spring rolls. Maybe we should get banana coconut milk. I kind of want banana coconut milk. Eternal Flame, not a bad reward. Got a secret key. Crying Health says invite. Cry is really nice. Those of you guys who don't know, Cry is also a true whale. Not quite at drunk, independently wealthy status. Now, Cry is somebody who I'm interested in what he does for a living. Drunk, I really could care less because it doesn't matter. He could not work another day in his life. Not to belittle the question, it's just an interesting insight I find, because my background is in financial mathematics, so, you know, on the other side of things, I really have some interesting insights into that stuff. Hey, thanks for the follow, Flaring Wolf, appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the stream. Our focus here is on mobile gaming, so thank you for also supporting mobile gaming. We're going to be looking to do some giveaways next month. As soon as we balance our budget, so to speak. All about $5 or so, $5 to $10 left over for giveaways at the, probably once over into next month, so we'll do one $5 giveaway for that, so thank you. The follows do support us, by the way. We get a very, very small amount of ad revenue from Twitch. It's extremely small. The real revenue comes from donations and subs. But the followers is every bit of it. We actually have a 1,000 follower goal, so thank you for getting us one closer to that. Take this picture here, respectful of everybody's time, since apparently we're dragging a sizable crew here. And I'll take us back to training, where we were, and then give the lead back to Cry. Yeah, it's a good place to chill. You know, I think I'd say this is a very chill stream. Other streams I think are hype. I think I'm too old at this point to do hype streams. I will get hype occasionally, very rarely. Maybe over some particular PvP. But I think that's only if like I'm like trying to burn off some steam. I'm pissed about something in real life. It drives me crazy how loud the effects are. Like, this is 10%. Let it down to 5. Honestly, I can reduce it a bit more. That's probably good. And then the music here is kind of meh, so I kill that, and then we'll do some Spotify. Yeah. I heard somebody ask the question, why is there crossover PvP when there's, RDK guilds in the servers to fight each other? And the argument, essentially, the underlying question that's really being, that I assume is being asked is, why you got these ultra whale guilds? Why don't the honest reason is that, it's a little bit early, I think, to be establishing those kinds of tensions and those kinds of hard set rivalries. I would really like to see, and I really do support it, that we do see a little bit of cross server, because it does create this positive vibes, lack of talk. Because if you introduce the big whale guilds fighting each other too early on, you create a system of toxicity, which is somewhat necessary for real PvP. It's almost unavoidable. But especially in a game model like this, early on, before people have really learned and met each other, it's really healthy, I think, to really make it about cheering for your server. Which pushes people to ask for server merges, which I think is fine as long as they're supportable from a technical standpoint. But the idea is so that, whales don't quit. They don't know nobody likes, losing, or, and even if they lose, they want to be cheered on, and I want to cheer on people in my server, So, I think it's a good system. And yeah, because server bots last update. I don't know exactly the details about that. I'm just now in a guild that's starting to gain some notoriety, some, big guns, so to speak. We had big guns, but just not the number of them. But yeah, bots, that's a big thing. So I was, Bears noted this in one of his moments. I've been noticing the same thing, feeling the same thing. Because Bears is definitely a technical player, as am I. This game's choice to... So I like the crossover thing. It's in the same spirit the bots were introduced. And the idea is to take away from the feeling of toxicity. You get to fight bots and, feel dominant over the bots. But that gets very old very quick because bots are predictable. And you notice on our stream, we were really the first to start showing, and granted, we took some, pointers. We looked at people, because we noticed very early on that if you get an advantage, you like pushing into their base. And then we noticed, we thought to our way, well, can we continue doing that? And because it's the natural progression in a way that works, and that's how we came up with Foursquare, which is really a rectangle. And then across that, it's not even a Foursquare, it's just a back and forth diagonal. And now you see other people doing it. So we kind of took some ideas from the natural game progression, and then it's essentially become a solved game. It's a solved game. So unlike chess, which has a whole long list of moves and openers and things, which is now a solved game in terms of computers, is now a solved game. You could actually make an AI that very quickly would be a human in Bet BG, but implementing those kinds of AIs takes time and money that, and quite frankly, why would you do that? I mean, AIs can, I can tell you now, I could give me, and I don't mean to sound egotistical here, it's just because of my training, I could design an AI that would win, I'd say, at least about 90% of the time, carrying the entire game, winning 9 out of 10 on its own, BG, if you gave me about 2 weeks. So about a week for learning the best program that would interface. I'd probably get banned for it. I would get banned for it because I'm basically spending a bunch of time to really make the game unenjoyable for other people, and in a way that's kind of deemed as unfair. But 2 weeks I could design a bot that would win 9 out of 10 times, and that's a problem from the game design. It's a problem with the bots. And the bots are a good solution, but the problem is this game has too many people who are smart, and smart people are going to abuse the hell out of bots. So for that reason, I think it's time to take off the training wheels, have it longer queue times a little bit, and have more real people versus real people. And, yes, that's going to create some toxicity because people, don't like losing, and don't like losing because somebody on their team who's not good or somebody whatever. People like being able to play bots, but I'm sorry, there's just too many bots. It's not a fun. When it becomes a solved game. As a BDM, certainly the Blade Master just hurting the bots. I mean, I go Soul Dancer, right? And I like that now because the PvP mechanics are really fun. I'll talk about that later. But also because if I'm a Blade Master, if I'm ever losing, I have to go over to bot hurting because, you know, I feel like it's not morally right not to do that because then I'm not doing the most that I can to help my team. Whereas the Soul Dancer, the way to most help my team is less of bot hurting. There's actual PvP involved. So, something to address, for sure. I think that's probably the biggest game design, PvP game design thing that's a problem right now is bots in PvP. I'm actually really liking the Soul Dancer. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why I feel that way. It is not support. I mean, it does heal. It does do that. The healing is like a bonus. That's why I like it. I would describe its play feel as a tankier assassin. It plays like an assassin. And I'll show you what I mean. So there's one play that I make here. Let me show you. Watch this. I don't have the right skills to do this. I use mine. Well, this will work. These skills. So I'm going to take this off. And I'll try to find an empty mob. And I'll show you what this looks like. So what we do essentially is we line up the points. Let's see if I can like it. We go like this. And we can do this at range so we're not at risk. And we jump in. So we have the super armor, we drop our skills here, we freeze, we drop our skills, we blow stuff up, and then we leave. So essentially what we do is we teleport in just like an assassin would with our super armor, drop our skills. And this is also based on my build too, so I have a very defensive based build. Doing that, you know, is very risky because in a not defensive based build, because essentially I'm using my super armor not to CC, but that super armor doesn't mean I don't take damage. So it is very key on my build. But you'll notice, you know, it is very much assassin based. You know, you kind of throw some skills out from afar like this, right? And I should be doing time expansion first. That's a misplay by me. And then, you know, when the timing's right, and I've got my nuke skills up, I'll come in and launch a nuke. So this time freeze, time lock, is where I'm at. It's actually on my person, but it affects enemies. So for this reason, it's very clearly designed such that you're supposed to jump in, super armor, drop this down, and then GTFO. And that's something very few Soul Dancers realize. Soul Dancers, because the other 90% of the time, you're playing at a distance. Because unlike a BM, you don't have super armor up. So if you're up close, you're constantly going to be CC'd. So you do need to be playing, you know, this kind of from afar. You need to remember, you use Soul Expansion before I do those two. It's a very bad habit of mine, just because I didn't take the time to read it. Yeah, it is very much. You basically, here, let me try to do the correct combo here. I'll show you guys what that looks like. You know, so you'll get, you'll find your buddy. Where's my buddy at? Go over here, you find your buddy. You bond to your buddy. Ideally, that's going to be a ranged character. So here we're going to pick, instead of Crying Hell, I know it works. Having a Blade Master is a really great partner because they have a lot of health, so it's going to sustain you. And that cooldown, they really work well off of cooldowns. But the problem with them is that they're always pushing up hard. So unless you've got a smart one that plays really well, it knows how to play with your playstyle, specifically you. It has to be a Blade Master that you play really well with personally. It's not like Dungeons. So an Assassin's also a really bad choice because they blink out. So ideally, I would bond with neither of these players. It would always be a Gunslinger or another Soul Dancer would be my ideal situation. Soul Dancer versus my preference, then Gunslinger. Then It's a toss-up. I would honestly say Blade Master maybe even over Assassins, because Assassins are bunching in and out and doing all this weird stuff. Very bursty, very, aggressive. Whereas a Blade Master may predictably be in a herd for a little bit. So I would say the Blade Master would be the better choice over the Assassin. So we're going to go in here and bond to our Blade Master, given that's our best choice of our two options here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to essentially say from afar, we're going to do time expansion. We would have done that first. And then essentially what we're going to do is we're going to nuke. So we're going to come in, drop our EXs, and drop and then go pick another group, jump in there, do a time freeze. We should have done that first, so it would have doubled up. So we would have done Soul Link and then dropped the time freeze, so it was a cool time frozen. So let me go over that one more time. I'll try to do it correctly here. Time expansion, so we get the cooldowns. Aura. Our copy, a Gemini. The Shockwave. Jump in. We jumped in too early, so we threw that down. We would have done this if it's available, sometimes it won't, which is the one I'm blanking on right now. Do that, get out. Now watch if somebody chases us. We're going to hold the duckling. So if anybody's chasing after us, we duck them. And that's the punishment for chasing us. So after we jump in, we do all that locking stuff. And if somebody notices that we're jumping in and out and doesn't like that, we punish them for coming after us. Hey, yeah, good luck, Konosuke. I'm sorry, I'm going to get better at my Japanese. I'm so sorry. I'm getting good at my Chinese. It's funny too, because German, if you learn German well, you can actually pronounce a lot of Latin very well too. And it's funny, for Chinese and Japanese, it's not the same, which is you'd think they would be somewhat similar in their pronunciation styles. But Japanese pronunciation is extremely different from Chinese. Just when you learn Chinese words, the wuxia is so different from Japanese. Before I learned any Asian languages, I was like, well, this all sounds the same. No, it's very different. Like worlds different, even more different than European languages. I would say the difference between, like, German and Latin are very similar in their bases. So is English if you get deep enough about it. French is going to be different. French. Yeah, I'd say the difference between Japanese. So, as a Japanese speaker, I think learning Chinese and vice versa is the same as an English speaker learning French and vice versa, because of how fundamentally different the languages are. Okay, yep, it's almost time. I think 50 is when it starts, yeah. So I stay in this party too, because Fry is in my guild. I think Quality is too. But good luck, thank you so much for that. I'll even type that out. We were doing the soul twerking. I love that arrows. We're gonna call it that from now on. I'm gonna credit that to you. In fact, I'm gonna copy it somewhere and put it in my notes, maybe. Stream jokes. There is something. Oh, I had something for that. Review notes, game suggestions, things to do, things to look up. Stream jokes. Yeah, put it in notes in the server. Self-working. Alright. Yeah, we missed the self-working, but we'll do more self-working later. I mean, I'll be doing it in PvP tonight. Oh, speaking of which, we should probably put that 5-minute delay. So, guys, hold on. I will go offline, and then in 5 minutes, I will be back online. But I'll be here. I can talk real time. I'll see your messages real time, so we can talk real time like that. But the voice, me talking here, I will be 5 minutes behind. So if you say something, I'm gonna respond to it in 5 minutes in the future. And that's just because I never ever want, to sacrifice. Like, you guys know how my playstyle is. Even if it means the difference between getting digs, or whatever on streams or something. If I have to sacrifice PvP, I'm just not gonna do it. PvP is too core to who I am. Like, growing up as a kid, you know, I don't know, my dad was like the coach of my soccer team, right? And like, I was like, well, I have to do extra hard and work extra well because, you know, I don't want people to think, you know, I'm treated special because, you know, I'm the coach's son. So, like, I don't know, I take that mentality very, very hard, I guess, in a sense. Like, PvP, a competition is so important. Yeah, anyway. Alright, I'm gonna do the 5 minutes. I'll still be live, essentially, but the video will be on mute. The stream will be dead for just 5 minutes. So I'll put that up. Settings. Oh, okay. Output, stream, advanced. There we go. And then enable delay. And done. Wait, hold on. We need something real quick. Check 1, 2. Check. Alright. So it looks like I need to actually end the stream with that full delay in effect. I thought it would enable on its own. So we'll do this. I'll change to the Be Right Back screen. Close this. No, Arrow. See, I thought we could be friends. Oh man, well, so much fun. There we go. All of our friendship and our camaraderie gone over Manchester United versus Chelsea. Damn. All right, let's do this here. Let's go ahead and start this. Otherwise, I'll never get it done. All right, here goes. 5 minutes.